Going on tilt. Going on tilt. Going on tilt. You can see my results from Friday here in this Funding Ticks account. Look at the results. $333. At one point, I was up $2,000. And then I was down big. You can see here, down real big at one point. Down almost 14,000 there at the low. Got back to green. Got up to almost $7,000 of profit. Came back down. Just absolutely just a terrible, terrible day of trading for me. Basically, just going on tilt. Going on absolute tilt. Going from being green to being red to being green to being red and just really battling. You know, after a month now of trading and being green for a month there in those Funding Ticks accounts, taking that kind of hit on Friday, what was the lesson learned? The lesson learned, let's talk about it. Well, I'd say the first lesson is basically, the market was just battling, right? Just absolutely battling. This is where we really kind of went on tilt here in this area when we just started getting these 5-minute candles just all over the place, up, down. You know, we would like break out, come right back down, break out, come right back down. On the 1-minute chart, you can see it a little bit better, just how crazy this area was, holding that 920 area, getting down here, finally looking like we're going to make a new move lower, and then the rip from 900 back up there to 23,000. So just absolute face ripper of a kind of squeeze back up there. We get back to the VWAP. We then dump again, dumped all the way down there to the 22,870s. And like I said, the FOMO, the battle, it's real. You go from like this crazy chop zone and then the ripper, and then it starts to look like it's going to break through the VWAP. It traps, it pulls back, it starts moving down again. You're thinking you're going to buy the dip, looking for a bounce. It bounces, it traps. And then again, right down here, man, look at this. It's just the same exact thing of just going, ah-wee, ah-woo, ah-woo, ah-wee, ah-woo, 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 ah-woo. And then finally the new low, and then rips all the way back up. So very volatile, very all over the place. It was Friday, first day of the month. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but if we look kind of what really was the big driver in terms of this move and some key levels. At open, we just gave it up. I talked about that 23,100 level being a key level. 23,100 was the previous week low. If you look on the chart, previous week low is 23,100. So we're not able to hold that previous week low. We're below it. So I was looking for bearish momentum. We get down here. We took a really nice trade live on YouTube right here on this setup. As we dumped down, you can see how we start to curl back up, and we kind of build out a bit of a flag right here. We had that, if you want to call it, an inverted fair value gap, big kind of gap in that candle down. So the idea here is this candle is pretty bearish. It's selling straight down. But once this kind of gets back above that high of that candle, invalidating this big move down, well, then that big kind of move up there happens. So decent size move up there. We were long off the 850, 860 area. That pushed all the way back up there to the 23,000. So about a 150-point move. 150-point move there out of those lows. And right back up there into the middle of the 15-minute range. The middle of the 15-minute range acting as resistance right here. Acting as resistance here, a little bit of support. But that 15-minute range kind of playing out again with the VWAP there. You got a pivot point right there. 22,945 area. So 22,945. Just, when you look at the bigger time frame, you look at it and you're like, oh, well, it looks pretty easy. Why would you not just get short? Why would you not just do this? But like when you really look at it, you see just kind of how volatile these 15-minute candles, wicks, big wicks, and then just a rip. And then again, down, big wick on the bottom of this candle. And it looks a lot easier, in hindsight. If you were trading this, it's a lot different. Because again, it's like it makes a new low right here. You're getting excited. You think it's going to sell down. And then what happens? it just rips all the way back up. 22,800, 940 there, rips all the way back up, pulls back, push back up, all over the place there. So an absolute crazy Friday there. My P&L paying the price, really just over trading, really just going on tilt there, not loving that action. But again, it all goes back to me, right? What can I do differently? And I think the biggest thing is not sizing up. Don't size up because the market's chopping. I think that happens a lot of times with me. That's why my red days can kind of get nasty, because I end up sizing up, right? I end up sizing up, trying to force trades, trying to put on different trades, or trying to fight the trend, or whatever it is. I would say sizing up is a terrible thing to do. If you're a red on the day, do not size up. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you're green on the day and you're feeling the market, you got a good view of the market, you got a good idea of where the market's going, all that fun stuff. If you're green, yes, size up, go a little hard in the paint. But if you're red and you're not feeling the love, you're not feeling the action, well, then stay away from it. Right now, by the way, Take Profit Trader is 40% off. You get a refund if you get a payout. So you get a payout and then you get a refund. Pretty cool, right? So get a payout, get a refund. Check them out. They're Take Profit Trader. Use the code PW. Code PW gets you the best deals. No activation fee. Get a payout. You get refunded for your eval cost. It's like basically getting a free evaluation or a free trading account at that point. But again, sizing up, big issue. What else is the problem, right? If something doesn't work, if it's not working, if the trade's not working, I would say you can't just instantly switch it up. I mean, I guess sometimes I do that. But especially like if we're in that chop, if we're like in these like channels and we're chopping and we're just not really breaking out, then I think it's a pretty good, hey, trade the channel one time. If it doesn't work out, wait for a break of the channel at least before taking another trade. And also don't size up. Hey, what else was the lesson from Friday? I think just if you go from being green to red to being green to being red to back to green, like at a certain point, you might make it a rule of like, hey, if I go from green to red back to green, I might walk away, right? I might call it a day. On Friday, that was exactly the day it was. I just could not get over this hump. I would go from being red to being green and then back to red, and then I just get back to like exactly where I started. The funny part is like I said, in the morning, we took a few trades and made $2,000 in the morning. Made $2,000 in the morning, and then basically traded the afternoon session and just absolutely wasted a lot of time. Ended up making less money than what I would have made just by not trading. So that might also be a good little lesson of the day. Sometimes you got to know when to walk away. I think I pretty much knew when to walk away. I just couldn't convince myself to stay away. So maybe another good little lesson there. If you get to a point where you're wondering if you should walk away and you do walk away, then you got to stay away. That's the rule, right? Stay away if you walk away. If you walk away, stay away. Again, proving the lesson today to be looking for those shorts below the VWAP, those lower, well, this one was like a little high, but it came back again, sold back down. The VWAP acting as resistance, the pivot points, the 15-minute opening range, the ding, the middle of the 15-minute range today acting as kind of that middle area resistance support. And today, Friday market moving down there, getting real crazy, getting real wild, and basically paying the price, over trading, paying the price, trying to force trades, trying to put up some imaginary number. I don't really know exactly the actual reason, but I do see clearly that we made a mistake there on Friday. We paid the price, right? We obviously paid the price, over traded, bad, terror. I mean, just bad, yeah. Crazy thing that we could have made, if we had no losers, we would have made 69,000 with 0 losers. So I think we gotta stay patient. Don't try to force those trades. Cut off the losers faster would be obviously a good advice as well. If I would have cut off more of my losers, or maybe if I would have taken profit on some of the trades that I could have, then I would be green on the day. I think I had a few trades where I was so hyper-focused on my P&L that instead of taking profit, I kept holding even when I was up a few $1,000s on the trade. So again, another probably great little lesson, good takeaway. Don't get to a point where you're trying to trade your P&L. Don't look at what you owe or what you're red on the day. If you're down $1,000 on the day, you should not trade your next trade with the theory that like, hey, I need to make 2,000. No, just trade what you normally would trade, right? You just got to stack up those winners to get back to the green. You do not need to make all your profit back in one trade. That was definitely the moral of the story there on Friday. Like I said, multiple trades where I was very much in the green and ended up getting stopped out for break even or getting stopped out for a loss because I was being greedy and I wouldn't just take profit. Again, kind of going back to that theory that, you know, if you're up 20, 30 points on a trade, and you can't let that trade come back and stop you out red. That's a terrible idea. Don't do it. So again, the good, the bad. Sometimes you have red days. Sometimes you have green days. Sometimes you have tilt days. Sometimes you blow up your account days. But that's trading, my friends. Sometimes you're up. Sometimes you're down. You know what they say. When you're up, you feel like you're never going to be down. And when you're down, you never feel like you're going to be up. And there it is. Another day. Another dollar. Make sure you tune in this week. We got some big stuff going on. We got the live mentorship August 4th through August 15th right here at the BDH Live.